best ever. There's never been anybody like it. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey, there's no one like
I'm Teofimo Lopez, 11-0, 9 KOs. The best to do it right now in the game is to take over. Shout out to BN Boxing News.
Hey, Lewis Virginia, I've been welterweight champ of the world. Everybody go follow BN Boxing News.
Greetings, boxing fans. You already know what it is. I got up this morning and I was just looking at this article. My boxing scene. So credit to boxing scene for this particular article. As you all know, my man's Mr. Gary Russell Jr. will be fighting this upcoming weekend. And I just wanted to just share some words with you that they was talking about in this article that Gary Russell Jr. has said. And I agree with them totally. And I just wanted to make a quick video on it just to put it out there, man. Again, I agree with Gary Russell Jr. As the article states, that Gary Russell Jr. gave up long ago on rationalizing why other top featherweight refused to get in the ring with him. We all know nobody wants to fight Gary Russell Jr. I mean, it looks like they're trying to freeze him out. This has been going on, man, since 2015 when he actually won the belt, the WBC belt, and he's been the longest reigning champion. Only defending it, I think, about 5 or 6 times. But let's continue to read the article. He's asking, right, and this is the most important part of the entire article. He says he basically wants, Gary Russell Jr. insists during a recent Zoom media conference to others to discuss his upcoming title defense versus the Philippines' Magsayo. Don't just say it when you're doing the interviews with one another. Ask them questions on why they're not getting in the ring with Gary Russell Jr. He wants us to put pressure on the fighters and just everybody, man. Look at this. The fans need to start boycotting some of these fights. Stop supporting some of these fights where they already know the outcome. Gary Russell Jr. with 31 wins, 1 defeat, 18 knockout, returns to a ring on this weekend, January 22nd, to face Magsayo. All right, Magsayo just came off a hell of a fight, bro. He was fighting this guy named Julio Sejo. And Julio Sejo was beating him, bro. Julio Sejo actually dropped him. That fight happened last August in Las Vegas. And this dude here got some nuts and guts. He got off the canvas, bro, and he was able to knock out. He was behind on scorecards. He was able to knock out Julio Sejo to stay undefeated in order to have this to be put in line to fight Gary Russell Jr. So awesome. This dude here, nuts and guts, man. Let's go with it. So again, Magsayo 23-0 with 16 knockouts. In what will be amazingly be his first fight since the pandemic. Yeah, Gary Russell Jr. hadn't fought in 2 years. Oh, ring rust. But let's say this: he's been getting his brothers ready for fights. He's always around the boxing gym. He's always working out. So Gary Russell Jr., this is nothing new for him. I mean, he normally fight once a year. I think he's around it so much. He just, the main thing about this whole video is to, hey, man, let's start putting pressure and let's stop supporting some of these bullshit fights. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop supporting some of these bullshit fights. Very so often, we watching some of these bullshit fights where we supporting it. We're supporting some of these bullshit fights, bro. And at the end of the day, salute Money Brown TV, my boy. We support some of these fights, man. And at the end of the day, we really don't like the challenge. We really don't like what we see. I'm gonna put you like this here, man. I love boxing. It's nothing like a Saturday night boxing, but I'm gonna follow Gary Russell on that, man. If it's not a fight I want to see, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it, bro. I'm gonna stop giving these people my TV time, my pay-per-view, if it's something I indeed don't want to watch. Start trying to pressure some of these fighters. I'm gonna start going some of their DMs, calling them coward, putting pictures of ducks, just letting them know how the fans feel. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's bullshit for these dudes to just be taking some of these weird, weak ass fights. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna follow Gary on this here, bro. I'm gonna follow Gary on this one. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only person I see out here fighting multiple times a year is a YouTube fighter and Canelo Alvarez. Outside of the YouTube fighter and Canelo Alvarez, there's nobody else fighting. You know, that's Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, bro, it's just trying to put pressures on these fighters, man. Just going, like, the first one I'm going to go at is Kambosos. You need to make your mind up. You need to go ahead and fight Devin Haney. Stop all the running and ducking. I'm going to hold him accountable because of all the bullshit he said prior to getting those belts. You know, he promised Devin Haney the fight. So now that he has the belt, you got to go through on that particular fight, period. You know what I'm saying? He told this man, hey, I will fight you. I will fight you if I get this belt. Now you got the belts, make it happen. Become the real undisputed. Like you said, like everybody else said, the real undisputed. Let's make it happen, man. The real undisputed. Because right now with that French fry belt, you're not undisputed, man. You're unified. So, as far as Terrence Crawford, he's in a bit of a dispute right now, so I'm not gonna fuck with him. Hopefully, him and the Errol Spence fight happens somewhere, sometime later on this year. I think they're saying Canelo is in talks with Jamal Charlo. I hope that's true. I'm not sure, but if that is, that'll be a hell of a fight. Very explosive fight. I would love to see that. But, I mean, my main thing for coming on this morning, man, when I read that article, it was really about putting pressure on these fighters and not supporting fights that we really don't want to see. Fights that we already know the outcome. You know, not supporting that shit. And thank you. Thanks a lot, Money Brown, for checking me out, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I had to come drop some words out before I leave, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it. Man, like I said, we got to stop supporting these fights that we really don't want to see, man. And with that being said, it's Nick with Being Boxing News. Peace. Peace. And we out.